Hey everybody, it's Tim again, and I have something different for you today. This is actually a Dracula statue. Looks like a figure, and as you can see, I have it flanked by my two Dracula action figures from NECA. And I have to tell you, after I saw this one on the Sideshow Collectibles website, now you can get this anywhere, but this Sideshow, I got it there for a particular reason that I'm going to mention later. Either way, it's like I got to get this statue. Luckily, this one was in stock on Sideshow at the time that I ordered it. That's not always going to be the case. They also had a 1/10 scale. I should note that it is a 1/10 scale statue. They had one of Frankenstein's monster as well, but there was a wait list for that already. So if you're a big monster fan, unless you already have this one, you might want to get on it and get it right away. Now, this is the side of the box. Obviously, you can tell this was sanctioned by Lugosi's his estate. This is their trademark image. And obviously sanctioned by Universal Monsters as well. And if you turn it around, this is a look at the entire statue. Classic pose from the film. Only available in color at this point. Not sure if I'm going to purchase it in black and white, if that option even becomes available. But again, being that that Frankenstein's monster statue sold out as quickly as it did, I had to get my hands on this. Now, I mentioned Sideshow Collectibles quickly. If you look on it on the site now, and they still have it, it runs for about $150. But since I did reviews of the Eastwood figures, you earn up points, and you can save quite a bit of money. So I was able to collect about $50 worth that I credited toward the statue. So it ended up running about $100. And also, what's great about them too is that you can put it on layaway essentially, and you can pay it off in a couple months' time. So I'm going to take a pause. I'm going to take this out of the box, and we're going to take a better look at the 1/10 scale Dracula figure, of course, in the likeness of Bela Lugosi, coming from Iron Studios. Okay, so normally at this point I would have had this unboxed already for you, and I did take it out of the box, but I kept it in the styrofoam container. I have not laid my eyes on this in person yet, so I thought this time let's do it together. So I'm going to take this off of here and take the 1/10 scale figure out, so we can see this all together. It's surprisingly light. Wow, I didn't expect that. And there goes one of my Dracula figures. And then over here, it looks like I need to undo the plastic. Let's take care of that real quick. And get the stand out there. And let's put the styrofoam stuff aside and unwrap this together. Let's do the stand first. I guess, you don't really know 1/10 scale. If you're not, obviously we see a lot of 1/12 scale stuff or 1/6 scale stuff. 12-inch action figure to 12-inch, a 12-inch action figure to a 6-inch action figure. So it's not often I do stuff that's 1/10 scale. So you just don't really know what to expect, what this thing is going to look like coming out of the box. So let me keep this up here. So here we go. That's the stand. And here is the actual statue. And again, this feels really, really light. And I don't know exactly what. Almost feels plasticky, which is sort of weird for a statue. But you know what? What's the main thing is that what it looks like, which is a beautiful, beautiful piece. Now, what I need to do is get this down there to the point where, there we go. And I think this is a really, really beautiful piece. Let's get this a little bit closer. The likeness here is pretty spot on, much like the Bela Lugosi action figures you get from NECA. Okay, obviously you have the medallion, you have the ribbon, and he's holding the cape up here. I'll have to measure this at some point to see how much it actually weighs. But I guess, again, the weird thing for me is I just thought it was going to weigh a lot more coming out of the box, which is fine. Let's give this one a 360. If I can reach around and get that here. There we go. And obviously not much to see apart from the detail. You got the cape, the flowing look of the cape. You got this base right here, which is pretty cool. As my camera goes in and out of focus trying to capture all of these details. Yeah, this is really, really cool. So yeah, I would say just coming out of the box, add this one to your collection. Again, it's the sort of thing, would I have spent $150 on it if that were going to be my final cost? Probably not, because it does ultimately feel like an action figure with no articulation. But being I got all these discounts, I think it's definitely a worthy addition to my Monsters collection. And I've been on such of a Lugosi kick. I'm just shocked that so much of this stuff has been available. And that's why when you see something like that come onto the marketplace, you got to definitely grab it. So what I'm going to do here is take another pause. I'm going to pose it with a very new out-of-the-package accessory I got from NECA to see how that looks together. Okay, so I'm back, and what I'm doing here is I'm taking a look at the Iron Studios 1/10 scale Dracula statue, I guess you could say. Looks like an action figure, somewhat feels like an action figure because of the lighter materials. But here what I have is it actually posed with Dracula's coffin. One of NECA's accessory sets, Dracula accessory sets that I just reviewed on this channel. And I think that the coffin actually might, proportionately, looking at it, it's like a forced perspective sort of thing. It actually looks much bigger than the actual statue would be. And I would think that if I could pose this figure, I could probably fit the statue in that, but I can't because there's no articulation. Again, looking at it from this point of view, you can see that it doesn't quite measure 8 inches from that bottom step. Now, if you look at these action figures, they are taller, I don't know, almost going on 7.5 inches. So proportionately, they are very similar. Obviously, you pose them together, you're going to see a situation where actually Dracula is much shorter. So again, these are more or less considered 1/12 scale figures, and this is 1/10 scale. So ultimately, what you're getting is about an extra half-inch tall figure with this Iron Studios release. Now, let's again move this closer so you can get a better look at the portrait. And again, I am very impressed with the work that Iron Studios does. Obviously, this sort of stuff is more high-end collector's stuff, which again, it can get really spendy. I had to do that just because I had to have Eastwood in my collection for the Sideshow Collectibles stuff. But, honestly, the craftsmanship behind the NECA toy stuff, I mean, you're getting it for maybe 1/5 of the price if you're going to go buy a Dracula action figure. So, again, because I'm such of a Lugosi fanatic, that's why I went with this particular release. But I would say, again, overall, if you have some points built up and you can knock off some money off of these releases, if you order them through Sideshow, definitely do it. Because when you can save about $50 like I did with this one, I think, for the $100 range. And the thing is, this really is not going to really decrease in value. I mean, anything you take out of the box is going to do that. But I don't think that, I think this is obviously out of the box going to be worth a lot more in the years to come as opposed to the Dracula figures. I don't know if you're really going to, it all depends on I've seen Dracula at brick and mortar all over the place. So, it looks like those are going to be pretty, they're pretty plentiful. So who knows what the overall cost is going to be, whereas the production run for something like this is going to be a lot less. So that's all I have for my review of the Iron Studios 1/10 scale statue of Bela Lugosi's Dracula. And again, Sideshow Toys, a lot of different online retailers have this as well. Again, the big benefit is that you can cash in those Sideshow points if you have them, and it equates to quite a bit of money depending on how much stuff you buy. My name is Tim Lammers, and I review cool movie toys. Thank you for watching this review, and please click like on this, share it with your friends, share it with all your Bela Lugosi Universal Monster loving friends, and I will be back very soon with more Universal Monsters type reviews on this channel.